You people are going to be super disappointed by my response to this, because I know a lot of you degenerate, you know, aimless little content seekers want me to go over 2 hours of nonsense, and I'm not going to. If anything, this serves to prove everything I've been saying for the past few years. People, you gotta stop going on Jubilee, okay? Jubilee is a clout-hungry right-wing psyop that lies to left-leaning guests to get them to farm content with a backbench of right-leaners that they keep on board, because they know there's literally no end to fame-chasing degenerate Nazis who will say anything in front of a camera if it gets them like a tiny little bit of clout. Okay, there's absolutely no. So a very respectable person, a person who I respect very much, Mehdi Hasan, went on Jubilee debating 20 far right conservatives on Jubilee Surrounded, and predictably they're all insane Nazis who say shit that can't be defended, but it doesn't matter if they can't defend it because it's 1v20, so everyone just gets 5 seconds up there, and they're all there to say the most audacious thing possible. You know? Just play the clip.
I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore. Conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants, you said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
so they
I want
are
to make the
immigrants.
claim that we cannot
I came here as an immigrant, I'm an immigrant.
But at this point, when they came, the United
People
States
aren't happy with the way this is going. First, Fourth, Fifth, 14th, 22nd Amendments. Those are my amendments that I came with today. If you don't want to debate them, just say so.
This is the framing as cut together by Zeteo, which is Mehdi Hasan's organization. See? You can see these little clips where it seems that Mehdi Hasan is outperforming them, which of course he is, obviously. It's Mehdi Hasan. Here's just a cut from it.
Wow. 100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone, even their own supporters.
Schmitt makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I don't care.
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that.
I don't care. I'm red-pilled. I'm red-pilled, dude. I'm griped up. I don't care at all.
I say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad.
We may have to rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey.
That's what Hasan was pitched, by the way, coming in. I'm pretty sure that the email he got from Jubilee said, do you want to debate 20 far-right Republicans? A lot of these people are just open neo-Nazi freaks. I mean...
My family lineage is settlers from the 1500s. So
you don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
You're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out?
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
My first claim is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal. Donald Trump is defying the Constitution. Immigrants, overall, are good for America. Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing. I'm Mehdi Hasan.
These topics are like so far above the discussion level of the group. He should have never been fired. Well, he was fired for being like an actual good person and a good journalist. He actually says as much here with regards to being misled. Jubilee invited a bunch of Nazis and Mehdi Hasan went, yeah, sure, I'm going to go debate them. And Mehdi Hasan responded, to be fair to me, that's not how the debate was sold to me. You can see my shock when they start expressing their views openly. This is why, and to be fair, Jubilee is basically just doing a more well-funded, well-organized version of what I've been complaining about for a while now, which is that there's no point in debate when one side is openly anti-intellectual. Like, didn't we already learn this lesson when people were debating between evolution and creationism? That the debates were all like carefully orchestrated showboating by the creationists whose job it was to sow doubt and paint, you know, a picture describing both sides of the debate. There shouldn't be a debate because it's not a subject worthy of debate. But nowadays, like, the debate culture has gone so far. There are people online like going around openly debating people with positions like, well, they're pro-rape. Like you'll argue with guy. Who was that? Was it Amos Lee, that guy who was like arguing pro-pedophilia? People will debate anything. And the more audacious the debate, the more audacious the claims, the more clout you get, because there's no consequence to shame or to being wrong. So what the fuck is the point? Look, I got sympathy to Mehdi Hasan. He's had some phenomenal debates, but usually, and I think you'll agree with me here, the debates that Mehdi Hasan has had that have been good have been debates against public figures, intellectuals, politicians, people who have some shred of credibility, people who can be humiliated if they are shown to be very, very wrong. Like, these are people who have scraps of public credibility. Even Republican politicians, as audaciously, obviously incorrect as they are all the time, there are still things they can't say. There are consequences if they trip up. It's possible to humiliate them because they have clout, and people with clout have supporters. People with supporters, those supporters often have expectations of them. And if you can have them defy those expectations, you can cause their supporters to be disappointed in them. It's not possible to do that if you're just shadowboxing with a bunch of neo-Nazis. Christ, Jubilee is so shameless about this. Remember when Sam Cedar went on, and then there was that one like wispy little gay twink who was talking to him, and it turns out that twink works with Jubilee. They're one of Jubilee's procurement guys. If they don't have enough right-wing dipshits, oh, he's in this one too? Is that true? He's also in this one? That's fantastic. That's wonderful. You catch him in the what the okay. Can we not go like a pan away, like a group shot? Anyway, if they can't find enough right-wing dipshits to fill the seats, they just pull some of their own. The whole thing's a psyop. The weird thing is that Jubilee's fan base isn't even that right-wing. For the most part, whenever I look at their YouTube comment section, it's people laughing at the audacity of the right-leaning guests they bring on, but it still serves to legitimize them, you know? It still serves to give them a platform, undue credibility just by virtue of getting to talk to somebody like Mehdi Hasan. Jubilee literally makes professional rage bait. Yes, they do. And frankly, I just don't like the idea of engaging with professional rage bait constructed by and for Nazis. They pull their own people to be on the far right side of things. Remember that one time Jordan Peterson came on and he got dog walked by that one kid who said, "Are we not here to debate Christianity? What's the title of this video?" And the video was originally Jordan Peterson versus 20 liberal kids debating Christianity, but they changed the title of the video to protect Jordan Peterson afterwards. They'll go out of their way to shelter and protect and coddle the right-leaning people on the show, but with the left-leaning people, they'll just lie to them, you know, like Mehdi Hasan. Mehdi Hasan has 10 times, 20, 1,000 times more credibility than Jordan Peterson, but they'll throw him under the bus. They'll lie to Mehdi Hasan, not far-right Republicans, just a bunch of like internet grapers, you know? Nobodies, worthless people. I can't blame you. I'm definitely watching this on my own. I just want to see Mehdi tear some guys to pieces. You don't get to see that. That's the problem. It's the expectation of that. That's the reason why so many people still say, oh, well, you should debate this or that. You can't. There's no way in a debate to tear somebody to pieces when their role is to sit there for at most 60 seconds and say, yeah, I'm a Nazi. Yeah, Hail Hitler. Yeah, you should be like deported or like whatever, put in a chamber or something. Yeah, I'm based. I'm graped up. I'm red pilled. Yeah. And then they leave. Meanwhile, Mehdi Hasan just goes, can you prove that? And they can't. They don't even engage with it. That's not satisfying. Absolutely worthless. I think part of the appeal at this point is the shock factor. I think you have to be pretty politically disengaged to be shocked by people being openly Nazi these days. It's like pretty common and all over the place. It's not really shocking to me. It's more like, yeah, that's what that is. Like you just pointed it and you're like, yeah, that's what they're like. That's what that is. That's how they talk, and they don't care. They're not going to engage. They don't believe in anything. They're literally just there to like build up their own YouTube careers. Which they all have, by the way. If you think they're just getting like normal far-right people, like they're doing random sampling or whatever, you're delusional. That's what they do for the liberals. They get random people. They do broader calls. For the conservatives, they have the backbench of wannabe influencers they bring up there. People who are not so large that they can like, I don't know, demand pay or whatever, but small enough that they could have their careers boosted. Here's that guy on Twitter. Yeah, there you go. What a surprise. The guy who laughed and said, yeah, I am a fascist, has a blue check Twitter account. Fuels Guy 2003. Very good. I'm sure this got him some, I don't know, a couple dollars off YouTube blue check. You're feeding into a bad system, man. Wait, do you think Hassan up here? Nah, he was lied to. I think that these like platforms are fundamentally worthless. I like the debates that Hassan does typically, you know, because typically he does one-on-ones, sit downs with people of some import, you know, and he tears them the apart. He does a phenomenal job with those. I think this is low IQ rage bait for people who are desperate for catharsis and they're looking for, oh no, he didn't moments where somebody gets like a dig in on another. But I just think it's low IQ. There's no real catharsis to be had. There's no real satisfaction. It's just it's rage slop for proles. I don't believe in it. Do you think Jubilee always had this intention? I think that they want money, and this is the most reliable way for them to make money. Obviously, over time, you're going to have to coddle the right-wingers more and more because they just have a natural disadvantage in debates, like Jordan Peterson, a high-profile figure who needs to be, protected. They probably had to, like, convince him to come in, and you have to lie to people on the left more and more because people on the left have a natural advantage by virtue of being correct. It's just this kind of content, this kind of format, this medium of political engagement is fundamentally reactionary. But I don't blame Hassan, no. I agree BuzzFeed was reactionary. I do agree with that. Jubilee was at its most obvious of intentions when they made the doctor versus anti-vaxxers. Yeah, they have a ton of content like that. Yeah, it's genuinely sickening. It's worthless. It's worthless. 20 Anna Kasparians versus one homeless guy. But the homeless guy was like top of the debate team in high school. Do you think individual leftists without much of a platform should go on Jubilee? No, I don't think anyone should go on Jubilee. It is literally like a rage bait content farm made by far-right people in order to make money off of you. They'll lie to you and protect other people. No, you should not participate in any way, shape, or form with it. It's a complete waste of time. If you want to do this kind of debate farming bullshit, you need to do it through like a medium that is not run by people who actively hate you. 20 IDF soldiers versus one toddler. You don't need Jubilee for that. Even shit like Hippy Dippy was always destined to boost idiot right-wingers like this. Yeah, Hippy Dippy started out as like a bunch of people just debating, but like towards the end, it was just, here's our 3 right-wingers who come up and say nothing of value, repeat the same thing every time, but they're here because without it, everyone would basically agree because these are inarguable positions. Like, yeah, it's how it always turns out. What the fuck is Hippy Dippy? Keep your nose out of what doesn't belong to you, you goddamn culture vulture. In your view, is there a place for debating? Will you listen to what I'm saying? I just said I like Mehdi Hassan's Zeteo debates. Why do you listen to the shit that I'm saying? Remember when they had doctors debate COVID policy, but all the doctors against anti-COVID policy were chiropractors? Yeah, the people at Jubilee are right-wing. They hate you. If they weren't right-wing, they wouldn't be doing what they do and saying what they say. And there's no such thing as neutral entertainment when you're hosting debates on a political topic. Well, Warcraft Dodo, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I wish people who defended stuff like this would just admit they do it because they find it entertaining and not because they have some kind of like principled argument in favor of the existence of the grifter Nazi rage bait slop content machine, you know? Like, stop pretending that there's no other way to challenge ideas, understand what the other like side is saying or whatever, you know?